Lake Louise is the biggest of the Banff resorts and is regularly rated #1 in Canada, which the fervent fans will attest to as those Lake Louise stickers are proudly displayed on helmets. The resort receives an average 454cm snowfall each year across a solid 4,200 acres of skiable terrain and a respectable 991 metres of vertical. The stats indicate an even spread of terrain across all skill levels, but the extent of advanced and technical terrain is probably understated, and for advanced skiers this gives Lake Louise the edge over the resorts nearby.
The beginner zone at the base is great for first-timers, and there are some decent frontside green trails for the more confident beginner. Most intermediate trails are on the front side, with a few on the back bowls and larch. Advanced skiers will find excellent trails and off-piste areas across the whole resort, and some technical chutes off the summit and paradise chairs. Lake Louise has a decent number of express lifts and provides a solid mix of terrain that'll keep skiers of all abilities entertained. The terrain and facilities will suit intermediate and advanced skiers who enjoy challenging trails and venturing into the trees.
Getting to Lake Louise is roughly 2 hours from Calgary and a 40-minute drive from Banff or 50 minutes from Canmore. Check 511 Alberta for traffic and road conditions before you leave Calgary. There are bus and private transfer options at the airport to and from your accommodation. If you're driving, we'd recommend an all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive with winter tyres in case of poor weather, as well as chains to comply with national park requirements.
You will need to pay the Banff National Park fees if your lodging doesn't provide a Discovery Pass. There is plenty of free parking at the resort, but weekend traffic is an issue, so consider this when planning your trip. Try to avoid arriving late Friday or returning to Calgary on a Sunday afternoon. There is also a free shuttle service from Banff hotels to the ski resort.
Lake Louise has a large base area with several buildings providing all required services including lockers, food, tickets and ski school. There is a separate daycare facility for those with young children not yet old enough to brave the slopes. Be mindful there is no on-mountain lodging at the resort.
There are a few on-mountain food options such as Whitehorn Bistro and Temple Lodge, but these are smaller than the lodge buildings at the base. The 10 Peaks, Whiskey Jack and Banded Peak buildings at the base provide the main food and beverage options. The deck at Banded Peak can get quite lively in the afternoons, but with all patrons leaving the resort overnight, the après vibe is limited.
Let's get to the skiing. Lake Louise provides a good mix of green and blue trails on the lower slopes for beginners and some enjoyable blues for intermediate skiers, but advanced skiers will find challenging trails and technical terrain across the whole resort. For the beginner, the learning area on Sunnyside Trail provides a safe zone away from the ski traffic for those starting out. Beginners ready to hit the slopes should try Wee Waxy or Easy Street. The blue trails off Juniper Express are perfect for avoiding the crowds and building confidence. The green trails off Grizzly have a few steeper sections and can be busy, which may intimidate some beginners.
Beginners wanting to explore the back bowls or experience the view from the top will need to take Saddleback, a fairly long trail, to get to Ptarmigan Lift for the easiest return to base. The Larch Express provides access to Marmot and Lookout, two long winding greens, great for building skills and confidence. We didn't locate any adventure zones for kids, but Jerry's Jungle provides a gentle gully, and there are some tree trails next to Marmot that are a bit of fun.
For the intermediate skier, the front side has a number of enjoyable trails like Charlie's Choice and Grizzly Gully. Moving across to Larch Express provides access to some long blues like Larch and Wolverine. The more adventurous intermediate skier can also have a go at Rock Garden, which will likely test the skills. The two blues off Ptarmigan Lift provide an opportunity to escape the weather if the front side is weather affected, or stick to the lower slopes off Juniper Express when conditions are poor.
Advanced skiers will find trails, trees and bowls all across the resort, and the different aspects of the frontside, back bowls and larch provide opportunities to escape poor weather. The new Pipestone Express is the best lift to rinse advanced terrain on the front side, like Helen's and Free Spirit. On this side there is also West Bowl and trails like Temple, Outback and Enchanted Forest, but the long traverse out along egress can be frustrating. Back bowl trails like Paradise Cornice, Paradise Bowl and Crow Bowl are best accessed off the Paradise Fixed Grip Lift. The Alphabet Chutes are some of the steepest terrain we've skied in Canada. Tower 12 and Lookout Chutes off Larch Express are also worth a look.
The terrain parks are on the front side. Grizzly Cub and Elbow provide small features great for starting out, while Triple Bridge has small and medium features for those looking to level up. Boulevard and Easy Street have bigger features for more competent skiers and riders.
There are a few things to be aware of for Lake Louise. The front side faces southwest, great for soaking up the sun on cold January days, but the snow can be sunbaked in the spring months. The back bowls have a northerly aspect, so the snow holds up well, but is serviced by slow, fixed grip lifts. Make sure you're dressed warm on cold or windy days. The back bowls, as the name suggests, are more open with fewer trees.
On cold, windy days, riding mid-mountain lifts like Glacier Express may be preferable, and the Summit and Paradise lifts may not even operate. The proximity to Calgary, along with the international reputation of Lake Louise, means the resort is busy, especially during holidays and weekends. Expect lift lines at the Grizzly and Glacier lifts early morning, with the queues moving to the top of the World Express. At times, Larch Express can be busy, while Ptarmigan will be popular as skiers make their way back to the front side. Overall, Ptarmigan and Juniper tend to be less busy than the other lifts.
It is also worth noting the lower slopes on the front side can be quite busy mid-afternoon as patrons return to base, plus some of the trails can start to form mini moguls due to the traffic. On a clear day, the view from the top of the Summit and Paradise lifts is spectacular, but there are only intermediate trails down from the Summit lift, while the green saddleback trail from the top of Paradise lifts makes for a long way back down for beginners, so don't do this at the end of the day or on tired legs.
With three distinct aspects across the front side, back bowls and larch, it is possible to choose where you ski and in most cases avoid the worst of any kind of weather. There are heli skiing and backcountry tour options for those seeking to take full advantage of the Banff terrain.
There is no on-mountain lodging at Lake Louise Ski Resort, so there are no ski-in or ski-out options. There is lodging just down the road in Lake Louise, but most lodging is nearby Banff and Canmore. Banff has a full range of lodging options, and there are free buses from most hotels to Lake Louise Ski Resort. Canmore provides a greater variety of options to suit most budgets, but a car is recommended if you are staying in Canmore.
There are plenty of restaurants and shops in both towns, including supermarkets, but Banff is significantly larger. Most parking in Banff is paid, however the bus service makes getting around town easy. Banff is a big town, so there are plenty of activities like day trips to Athabasca Glacier and the Columbia Skywalk, as well as ice walks or hot springs for rest days or a break from skiing. In our opinion, Lake Louise has a decent mix of beginner and intermediate terrain that caters well to skiers looking to build skills, but it is advanced skiers who will really be able to take advantage of the trails, trees and chutes that this resort has to offer.
With the elevation and extent of terrain spread across different aspects, good snow can be found by anyone prepared to explore the resort, while the base facilities and frontside express lifts provide skiers with a top quality experience. Check out our trail and lift videos to get the most out of your visit to Lake Louise.